All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to ReeRoles. I am the dungeon master for this beautiful little campaign here, and I'm going to quickly go through here and introduce all of our wonderful people before seeing what kind of chaos they get themselves into tonight. We are actually going to start here with Kira.
Oh, okay. Hi, I'm Kara858. I play the character Aspen, who is on a search, a quest of sorts, to look for someone important to them. Along the way, they seem to want to discover a bit about their heritage, and is finding that there's more that lies to being what they are, I guess, especially after being involved with Dio. And I'll save, of course, all the other content towards the end. Oh, so Dio doesn't have any wings. That's what they noticed. They definitely noticed that.
It's true. All right. Next up, Earthstriker.
Oh snap! They let me back in here again.
Pew 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 pew.
What's good, y'all? I'm Arethian. Y'all know who I is. Y'all know where to find me. If y'all don't, stick around to the end. I let you know I'm playing Reagan Perro, resident paladin that can't hit the broadside of a barn. But next caller.
All right. Next up, Ari.
I'm Mari. I'll be playing Layla, the world's most friendliest tiefling, who may or may not be lying every time she opens her mouth. You've seen me here. You see me over on Kira's channel, and I'm over on the Bear Pen. Follow me at Small Shadow Snack. It is marsupial goodness and the occasional confused posts. It's fine. It's all fine.
All right. And last but certainly not least, Melee.
Hi there, I'm May. I will be playing Dio, who is got a lot of secrets. Glyza would be very, very proud of this girl. How many secrets she has. She is a half dragon, wizard of sorts, and has just met this group and learning about everybody. So she's very nervous and a little confused. But yeah.
All right, and with that, we are going to rejoin our adventurers as they are making the final preparations to continue their journey, their mapping of this underground section just beneath the Arethian forests. Aspen, however, I need you to give me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, immediately?
Your DC is 10.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, we're good. 18.
Okay.
Yeah, 22.
All right. You are starting to feel a bit tired, but it isn't something you haven't dealt with before. And as you all are finally heading out, you do find that Dewdrop is kind of settled in with your new, I guess you could say, traveling companion. And they seem to be recovering, but they don't seem to be in any shape to move on their own just yet. And with that, I leave the story to you all. What would you like to do?
Reagan's just sitting there like a moron. He can't see. He feels heat. Scared to move.
Aspen gets out of the tar, realizing the bath just felt more like home. And then they look towards Layla, who I think, weren't you doing like prestidigitation to get the tar off?
She completely prestidigitationed herself and is checking her tail to see if she burned any part of it.
Aspen just looks confusedly like, what happened? What?
It was fine for a little bit, and then the weirdest burning sensation ever. I don't know if I'm allergic to lava, if that's even a thing. But it was a little spicy. Maybe I'll try it again another time.
Are you getting a rash somewhere, or your leg, or like where is this allergic coming from?
I don't know. I'm making sure I don't have any burns anywhere. Just like trying to do the 180, like just to check any of visible skin.
Well,
maybe it was just an overreaction.
Well, we hopefully return back to the city, maybe they may have something like this. This felt a bit welcoming.
I know there's like hot springs somewhere, but I don't know if they have the same intensity. But we will find it. There has to be something.
Right? And then maybe that will allow me to like something within the city. Right now, it's not much.
Yes. We will find something that you like, so you will stay hopefully a little bit inside the city. But you know, it's fine. We should probably go join the others, maybe.
Mm-hmm. And then we turn back over to Dio and Reagan and say, well, why didn't you two enter the tar?
Is that
Feels
what it
good.
is, friend?
Mm-hmm.
She
It feels
is
good.
taking notes about what happened to you guys because she's got her little vials of tar. She looks over at Reagan and she goes, "Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it for you."
Duly noted. I'll listen to the wise half-dragon friend here.
And
Dio says it is not recommended.
she does
Oh.
kind of like turn over her notebook and show Reagan where she's written down like kind of what she overheard
Reagan cannot see it.
Layla say, and then she goes, "Oh, you can't. I'll read it to you. Slight burning and irritation may occur to those not thoroughly accustomed to extreme heat."
Reagan flinches like, yeah, that may not be the best fit for me, friend.
Yeah, but it does go for like a pretty penny. I can maybe grab another vial of it for you if you want to like make some gold when we get back into town.
I have no qualms against that, friend.
And Dio will try to grab, because she already grabbed like a couple vials, so she'll try and grab one more of it to give to Reagan.
You're lovely, May. Thank you. Does it burn, Reagan, when it's in a vial? I'm just asking.
It is pleasantly warm. It's kind of like holding, like if you ever held like coffee that wasn't in like a proper styrofoam cup, so you can feel the heat through it. It's not hot enough through it to burn you, but it's pretty warm.
Lukewarm coffee in a solo cup. I feel it.
Well, it's actually very hot, but it feels lukewarm in solo cup. And just to verify, I think both Layla and we both got 6 tar cups apiece, right? Because we didn't have any issues grabbing it. Yeah.
Yes, you all could have gained as much as you would like. But you do see that as you've been gathering it, it seems that the good stuff isn't quite as much, and it's basically the more you gather, the more you're kind of left with tar that seems to be filled with more like impurities and dirt than it is the actual tar. So there's a limit to it.
Mm-hmm. Well, we don't want to pillage this entire area. I'm not sure if we all would like to come here just for a spa day, but
it does sound like it would make a rather good tourist attraction, don't you think?
Nah, then they all come, then they use it all up, and it gets stinky, and it starts to smell like feet.
Do you mean to say that the intensity of hot tar cannot withstand the scent of smelly feet?
No, it intensifies the smell, just heat in general. Just like the people. You ever been to a water park? It's not.
Y'all see Reagan cringe.
Yeah, so does Aspen. It's just like, yeah, we must avoid that at all costs. This place is sacred. The last thing we need this place smelling like is corn chips.
What are these corn chips of which you speak, friend? Are they for feeding pigs?
I thought I saw it at the store. Corn chips would be. Hopefully, corn chips is in fantasy. I hope.
Yes, I've heard of this legendary store. Some in the Midwest call it Conestow. Dio, have you visited Conestow, friend?
I think we have something like that in Florida.
Conestow has made it to the Floridians, I see. Tell me, do they eat these corn chips while they use their Bible belt?
Sometimes. I think they wrap the chip in the Bible belt, and then it becomes like a boomerang weapon. You could throw them, and then
That's That's so fascinating. And you can tell Reagan intends to stare intently at Dio, to listen intently, but of course his eyes can't quite connect with Dio's eyes. So you can tell like Reagan's staring in your direction, but not at you.
Yeah, Dio just goes, yeah, it's a real fun thing. I'm over here.
Uh,
I'll show you some.
I would like to travel to such a place. Hopefully all the Steves don't gang up on me. But yeah, I'm all set.
And with that, they'll look over and says, well, hopefully we should have too much more left at this location. Anyone else want to check out something before we depart?
I've got my map a little further along, I think now. So that's good for me. I guess we can continue doing the rest of it like another day if you want. Does everybody feel like going back town, grab some to eat?
Well, I presuming we shouldn't have too much more left remaining. Might as well just keep going to see and complete the process. Then from there, we could just head it back up.
If you wish to risk it, friend, but remember, we do have an injured party member on our hands.
And they'll look over towards the Drake and they say, that's true. But my Drake will be on close standby to make sure nothing happens to them.
'Tis your ally, friend.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. And I guess we keep moving.
All right. And as you all continue further into the caves, you find that the darkness around you becomes more tangible almost. It's not merely just the lack of light, as it seems to be its own separate thing. Any of you can make we'll say an Arcana or History check, but the DC is going to be 20. See if you've ever seen
I'll roll
this
it
before.
I'll roll it just to roll it. You said Arcana or History?
Arcana or History.
That's okay. Happened, but we shall see.
10.
Yep.
Solid 10. Okay.
Yep, that ain't happening. 12.
I got a 16.
It's all you, Dio.
Yeah, well, these are two things that I'm actually very good at. I rolled a natural 1, so
Unfortunately, none of you have encountered this phenomenon before, and it is creepy. It feels unnatural to you.
I don't like this feeling, friends.
Agreed. Just keep an eye out. We'll just make sure nothing attempts to surprise us anyway. I guess maybe go ahead.
Oh, you go ahead. I heard you starting up. All right, I heard you starting up.
Well, I would just say maybe we should approach this area a bit more stealth and slowly, just to make sure.
Can Reagan burn a divine sense? See what he picks up. Okay. Woohoo. Okay, I've done thus. And within 60 feet of me, do I get, you know how it goes. Yo, call Ree. Any celestial, fiend, undead?
You don't sense anything like that.
Okay. Detect magic. Through the
Detect any outside of the things you would expect to sense, like the magical items possessed by your allies.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing else.
Well, it is not fiend or undead, and not magical for that matter.
Well, this place is filled with all kind of mysteries, so I guess we just keep a close eye out and make sure nothing attempts to surprise us.
Well, I'm bound to be surprised in my condition, friend.
Well, I will definitely mention something if we see something up ahead.
Reagan gives a thumbs up, but he just sticks it up in the air.
Aspen just smirks, and I guess starting to make their way to the path.
All right. and you all travel a bit deeper into this kind of darkness. After a while, you begin to make out a figure that seems to be kind of perched on a central stone platform. At a glance, they look like a dark elf. You can see that they have some black paint that is used to kind of draw what looks to be symbols, though none of you recognize them. And they seem to be sitting facing you, but their eyes are closed.
Aspen will look towards Reagan, Layla, and Dio and say, "There's someone up ahead. Not sure who they are. As you all know, I am not the best when it comes to speaking with people.
They
You
look
want?
like they're in deep meditation.
Should we just keep moving then?"
Uh, maybe very calmly and try not to bother them. I guess that seems like the respectful thing to do.
Is this someone you recognize, Dio?
Is it storyteller?
I don't think so. It does certainly don't look like anyone you've met recently.
No, doesn't seem familiar to me, but nonetheless.
Well, I'd hate to intrude. What if this is someone else's abode? Just like those creatures we encountered last time.
That is true. Oh, what a pickle. Okay, so I guess maybe we do bother them and ask them.
Well, is there a way around? Is there like a path that we can take that may seem like avoid approaching perhaps their territory? Or
From what you're seeing, no, this kind of pathway opens into a cavern, but you don't know if you could go back and then search for a way around.
looks like this may be our only method. I guess we could just say we would just like to make our way through. We have no interest in staying in this location and see if they're okay with allowing us to pass.
Well, I did bring this point up. I am willing to do the negotiations.
All right, well, Reagan and Layla, I guess you two are, and Dio, you seems like a friendly face. All of you seem to be much better at this than I.
Oh, I'm not very good. I get very nervous and tongue-tied, and I get a little like clammed up, and I can't really speak very well when I do this. So I'm kind of like you in the sense that just not really good at talking.
I see. And they look towards Reagan and Layla and says, "Well,
I'm going, fair tiefling. Do you wish to accompany or stay back?"
You see, she dusts herself off, fluffs her hair a bit. Yes, let's go. Let's talk. We will be polite. It'll be fine. We are not going to get eaten by anything.
Are you holding on to Reagan?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Because if you were going to just walk away, like Reagan wouldn't know.
No. She's linked her arm in with yours because she knows she can't see in the dark, and has been kind of like toddling by you.
Well, they waltz up.
Yeah, of course, Aspen and Dio, I'm presuming, will follow suit. They're just letting them take the reins for communication purposes.
Okay, and as you approach, Layla, you know they're there and you can see them, but it's almost as if every so often you kind of have to blink to refocus your eyes as they seem to be almost hugged by the shadows around them. And once you get within about 25 feet, they open their eyes, and you can see their eyes are orbs of this pitch black, almost as if the concept of darkness is shown through them. And as they look up at you both, hello.
Hello.
Hello, friend.
We were just passing through, and we saw you here, and we didn't want to like disrupt your territory if this is your home. And so we just wanted to come in and say hello and see if it was all right if we pass.
This is not my home. Why do you seek passage into the chamber behind me?
You got it? Or you want me to get it? Oh, there you go.
We are making a map just for simplicity's sake, and we didn't know like if this area was like off limits or not, and we thought it'd be polite.
It is not off limits, or I do not have the authority to prevent anyone from going where they please.
Surely you have a name, friend.
I believe the closest thing to a name in your tongue would be... And she says something to you, but the word itself doesn't make sense. But to you, Layla, it's almost as if the word not quite hurts you, but it makes you feel uncomfortable. Almost as if just hearing it is enough to kind of make you feel off or wrong. Reagan, to you, it sounds welcoming. And it takes for a moment for you to realize that the feeling that you are understanding that you are feeling isn't coming from you, but it's coming from your pet.
Ooh. Well, this is interesting. It seems that I may know a little of you, but not quite you yourself, see? I don't know if you sense the same thing. We might have some history with each other. This is nervous laughter from Reagan. Y'all can tell this is nervous laughter from Reagan.
Layla, just at the feeling of it being uncomfortable, kind of just inches behind Reagan a bit.
I am aware of what you speak. It is strange to find another one from that place here. Are they why you are exploring down here?
Oh, well, we are, in fact, just filling out this map. Our friend here has told us that this is a mission that she embarked upon, but beyond this much, we're just exploring. We have no ulterior motives, no wishes to do anyone or anything harm, but we will defend ourselves if need be.
Why do your friends not approach?
Well, they saw us as the more charismatic types, and they just wanted us to make first contact. But if you are inviting them over, I'd be happy to extend the invitation for you.
Of course, they may come as there's no harm in the dark.
Our new friend says you're all right to approach. Reagan just turns and shouts that back.
Yeah, Aspen looks towards Dio and says, Kind of expected this. They always seem to get the job done when it comes to talking to people.
That is a very good talent to have.
Agreed. Because I would have messed things up already about 5 minutes ago. and they'll make their way up to the group.
As I've said, you all are free to continue exploring. Well, I can tell you that this chamber doesn't go much further.
Perfect. Well, we will definitely look to fill out the rest of the map and then exit out. Thank you for this information.
You all welcome.
I do have a bit of a request, if you would be so kind.
You may make your request.
We have an injured party member here, you see. A wyvern that has injuries that I can't exactly make out in my condition. Is there some way you know of healing our new friend here?
I am unable to heal, unfortunately. My master could do so, but I don't know if they will be returning anytime soon.
Understandable. Thank you so much. I thought I should ask.
Well, with that, We appreciate your time. Enjoy your meditation.
Be careful.
All right. And Aspic starts walking. Now it seems like everything's good.
Diplomacy is wonderful.
And as you all are walking, you all feel a similar effect to what Layla felt a moment ago. The path, you can clearly see that the exit is in front of you, but there are times where you have to kind of refocus your vision as the darkness almost seems to kind of naturally hide it from you. But as you walk, you seem to get closer. Is there anything y'all wish to do before you reach it?
Now that I'm like closer to whatever this effect is, can I try another Arcana check and see if Dio has a better idea this time of what this thing is?
Sure.
+17 +8. I don't do math well.
Ooh, 25, yeah.
You aren't sure entirely what it is, but you are aware that the energy around you it's darkness, but it's not darkness at the same time. You have heard of it in mythology and ancient tomes as sources of an ancient power that used to be on equal terms with the gods. And you forget the draconic word for it, but in common, it's referred to as the void or absolute darkness. And you also know that generally it is not hospitable to any sort of living thing. But this around you seems to not be hurting you, and you aren't sure why.
Dio will relay that to the rest of the group.
The void, you say?
Yeah, I think it's named properly. That would be that like weird feeling.
What would it be doing here?
I know not how these things work, friend. I merely serve the gods.
It's a
Well,
good question, though.
yeah, this is such a random place for it to be. For something as you describe, I would assume it to be located in like its own realm or a place of perhaps worship, or but just in some random catacombs seems relatively peculiar.
Perhaps our friend back there knows something a little bit more about it. Maybe if we talk to her again and ask her, because I mean, like it is a great thing of power. She was out there meditating, so maybe she comes here to meditate because of the void.
It wouldn't hurt to ask.
I do believe she has some ties to it due to the unique eyes that she possesses, but I wasn't sure how. But I'm not sure if content like this is considered sensitive to others. I don't know. Again, this is above my area of understanding in regards to
You and me both.
speech.
Never know unless you ask, friend. Isn't that right, fair tiefling?
Yeah. This place is weird.
All right. Well, if y'all would like to return back to talk to her, ask her about this, I'm okay with that.
Lead on then, Layla.
Normally Layla walks with a very bounce, but because she's still got that bad feeling, she's just like less bounce, but still doing her best.
You can tell Reagan hasn't really broken stride much. He's still moving kind of normally.
You all return. Do you no longer wish to see what lies in the next chamber?
Well, it seems that we have gained a new understanding of our surroundings. Our friend here, Dio, informs us that this is the void. Is that the case?
In a manner of speaking, yes.
Do tell, please, for we are ignorant to the ways of this world.
This is a method of growing my understanding, but it is not itself the void. The void is space between worlds.
With Reagan's, would that be more of a wisdom thing to kind of internalize what was said, or an intelligence thing?
You understand what that means because this is not the first time you've heard it. When you first made your pact, when you first gained your item, the entity you spoke to stated that it came from the space between worlds.
Hmm.
And it is very similar. The feeling, the uncomfortableness, but odd sense of serenity is similar to when you first found your pact.
Well, you would see Reagan not an understanding then. Makes sense to me, friends.
Why would this energy essence be here in these catacombs?
It helps me to cultivate my path.
Oh, so you're creating this.
In a matter of understanding, you could say that.
Thank you.
Well,
Do you have any
friends,
other questions?
They look towards Dio because Dio's the wizard.
So you are creating a thing just very, very, very powerful. Which, whoa, like way to go. That's super cool. Awesome. First of all. Second of all, you said you had a master that you were learning from or studying under or something. And if you're do that, what who is your teacher? They must be extremely, extremely powerful.
They are, I suppose. They are more experienced than I am. Though I find that people focus far too much on power, and not enough on understanding.
Mm.
But he is currently seeing out the agreement made between heaven and hell. I think he promised to do so before most history had begun.
well, that will actually remind Reagan. Yes, well, if your master has knowledge of such dealings, then perhaps you would have knowledge of a creature we dealt with not too long ago. And Reagan will proceed to describe the being with the wings that we fought aboard the ship.
All of you give me an insight check.
Oh. Is it straight for Reagan? If it's sight based?
Nah, it'd be disadvantage if you can't see.
Okay, I mean, I'm gonna play fair. That's why I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna play
It's
fair.
disadvantage, unfortunately for Reagan.
Despite the fact that my insight is fairly good, it was only a 5.
24.
Yeah, it's a 4 for me. So there we go. That would have been good. I had 21 net.
What did you get, Dio?
17.
17. All right. Aspid, just for a moment, it looked like there was the barest traces of a smile on this woman's face before it was gone, replaced by the shifting shadows around her. I am aware of this creature.
It didn't give us a name, you see, and said we were supposed to know things that we, well, obviously don't know. Could you grant us some insight as to whom this being is and why it would have business on our plane of existence?
There are some pieces of information I am not permitted to give, but I can tell you that you would learn many things by proceeding forward. But it could cost quite a lot to learn.
Can you tell us of this cost?
Hmm. It would cost. It would cost a lot of things for the mortals of this world. But I suppose, in a way, the price will be paid regardless if you are the ones to go through there or if you let another do it.
What if we sent you to get the knowledge?
I already have it.
Yet you cannot give it.
No.
But can you not retrieve it for another?
No.
Someone did not explain these rules when I was in Paladin school.
Well, from what my understanding, I recall quite well what she was looking for, and I had no reservation for or hesitation for what she was attempting to do.
But we do not know who they are, friend.
Well, true, but I'll be honest, someone searching for a kin I can relate to. So when hearing that, I felt it was none of my business anymore.
I know I will not willingly risk you guys' safety for information that may or may not be prevalent to our situation, especially when we have an injured friend here.
I do not wish to speak for others. If you all wish price for this piece of information, please. Just the individual we came across, I decided to leave her to her own devices as she just wished to locate someone that was important to them.
We all have important people to us, I suppose.
I can go with you, Reagan, if you want to go. I don't mind. As you know, and she holds up her notebook and kind of pats it. It's like lots of knowledge to fill this little baby right here. Gotta learning knowledge is power. So I can go with you if you wish.
More like I would be going with you, friend, for I can't see.
That is also very true.
Wait, to clarify, if we were to continue down this path, are you saying this is where we will receive this information? Or is this another method? Oh. Well, in that case, while I have no hesitation, no reservation for her, I do wish to complete this journey or filling out your map. So if there's a consequences associated with that, so be it.
What say you, fair tiefling?
I mean, it sounds like a fun adventure. You know, it might help with music. Maybe I could get some inspiration for music. So it's a good thing.
Very well. Well, thank you so much for the information you gave. What was your? Oh, yeah, I wasn't around. What was your name?
I don't believe it would translate to your tongue. And when she speaks again, it feels uncomfortable to you. It's almost as if you're trying to force yourself to hear something that is forbidden to be heard. And you feel kind of your skin crawl for a moment. And then she stops.
Well, that's interesting.
Dio looks up, holding the notebook, and goes, "How do you spell that?"
Inquiring minds want to know.
One day you will be able to find that out yourself if you continue to ask the appropriate questions.
Reagan will try to subtly lean into the being's direction and just be like, I don't know if your master cares or not, but thank you for saving my life. And he's trying to say this without the others picking up on it. He's trying.
Okay. Well, if no one is attempting to overhear you, that's fine.
All right. And with low perception, he ain't gonna know if message is received. But yeah, he says that and goes, shall we go, friends?
Very well. I mean, now don't get me wrong. Aspen's passive perception is a 19, but if there's like a,
If you heard it, though, you heard it.
But they just shrugs and keep walking over towards the continue down the path we were heading.
All right. And as you step further out of this chamber, you see the darkness almost abruptly stops as soon as you step out of this chamber, and that odd feeling fades away. As you step forward into the next one, you find yourself standing in a, not so much as a chamber, as a large, almost completely open space. As you look around, you have to remind yourself that you're underground and not standing on the front of some sort of cliff face. And as you look forward, you see sitting in the center of this room, about 100 feet away, is a podium with what looks to be like a dagger kind of embedded in the center of it. And you can see on this podium is the image in this dark gray ash of a phoenix in flight. And as you look around, you see on the cave walls all around you what looks to be like a massive mural, the image of beautiful and monstrous creatures moving along the walls, almost as if in a procession forward to the central point this altar is laid out before you. What do you do?
Take notes.
Yes, Abe. Can I do some kind of religion or history or check, some kind of
You
check on
can
this?
make a religion check at disadvantage.
Ugh.
How's
Not even
Reagan
try that.
feeling in this environment?
You feel fine in this one. This one does not. This one seems to be lacking the darkness, that shadow, that comfort. But you also notice that there is enough light in here for you to see clearly.
Sweet. I can see, guys. It's a miracle. Or I gained the ability to see like you all. I don't know which happened, but I like it.
And he smirks. He says, "Does anyone know what this is?"
Dio did roll an at 20, but
Nice.
the advantage hit, and I got I got a 14 plus 8, so 22.
That's still
Looking
amazing.
around,
Mm-hmm.
you could tell that this is depicting some sort of meeting, some sort of agreement between angels, perhaps. But then the other half of the room almost looks like devils to you. And you are aware that there is no text, as far as you know, that references anything like this in any book you found or any cathedral or church you visited.
Dio will pass that along. And she also looks up and goes, her master was doing a dealing between heaven and hell, and something like the angels and demons, and it all makes sense, but it doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying?
It actually does. If you think about it. Oh, you were not here when we first approached the city. There was a woman we came across who possessed both the essence of celestial and fiendish energy within them. The person that we were speaking about when we were talking to the individual with the relatively unique name, that was her. And she was looking for her kin. So it looks like there seems to be a bit of history associated with a union of sorts between heaven and hell, perhaps.
While this is going on, is there like a loose rock anywhere, Ree?
Yeah, I won't say you can find a loose rock.
Reagan just chucks it toward the dagger with a depiction of the phoenix rising from the ashes, and see if something happens on the floor.
The rock tumble. Just give me a strength check.
All right, you got it. Milestone freeze on me. There we go. All right. Raw strength.
All strength.
All right. Nat 20. Woohoo. Thank you. Roll 20.
As you
do care.
throw this rock, it speeds directly towards the center podium where this dagger is. And as it smashes into the dagger, you all see just for a moment the dagger shifts and everything in the room goes still. And then you begin to see the ashes beginning to swirl around you. And you see dust and debris kind of scattered about the room, all begins to coalesce forward towards this stone podium. And an image begins to be formed.
You know, I didn't intend to hit the dagger.
And as this phoenix emerges, it grows. It doubles in size. And then doubles in size again. And then the image shifts into 3 dimensions. And you all realize you are standing face to face with the phoenix made out of ashes. And I need you all to give me an initiative check.
I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. I wasn't aiming for the dagger. I was aiming for the floor in front of it. We in it now.
Yeah, I think we'll work with theater of the mind for this one.
All right.
But,
in that case, 10 on initiative.
12.
All right. Let me roll it for our buddy, the Phoenix. The Phoenix rolled a 10.
Okay.
All right. So we've got write that for me. Write your initiatives in the Zoom for me.
All right.
All right. And Reagan, what is your dexterity?
My dexterity score is 14.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you are slower than it.
Mm-hmm.
Right, 10 for Reagan. And then 8 for Dio. All right. All right, I believe I got all of you. So as you all are standing there, the cavern around you begins to shake as this wind begins to pick up. What are you all doing? First up is going to be Aspen. As you see, this chamber seems to be at least 100 feet in each direction, so you do have space to move.
Well, Aspen doesn't understand that this is a attack of sorts. So they just see the phoenix develop, and they, without hesitation, they just make their way towards them, looking up at them, saying, "What are you? What is your name?"
It doesn't respond.
They'll say the same question again in Celestial.
No response.
They look towards the others and says, not sure if this creature speaks. But yeah, they're, like I said, they're not going to go straight into attack mode because they don't know that this creature is hostile. So they're just going to look at the creature, but they'll still take the dodge action just to be on the safe side.
Okay. Layla, it's your turn.
He is confusedly like, I don't know what's going on because it hasn't overly attacked her.
Mm.
So she's gonna just hold her crossbow bolts. If it does make a move to attack her, she'll shoot it.
Sure. All right. As you all are hesitating, you see the phoenix now at a large, full wingspan beginning to beat its wings, and you feel the air around you beginning to pick up. And I need everyone to make me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, well, okay. That's all I needed. Oh, okay.
D&D Beyond has finally came in clutch for me. That was a natural 20.
Woohoo!
Why do I get a natural
Nice.
20 on the thing that starts this and then get a 4 on the save? You mean
Take
to
your
tell me if I
consequences.
wouldn't have critically succeeded, this wouldn't have happened? Oh my God.
Roll 20 gave you that false sense of security.
All right, did anybody roll beneath a 16 besides Reagan? All right, then Reagan, you took a full 25 damage, and as you are attempting to cover yourself, this black ash begins to cover your face, and you are blinded until the end of the Phoenix's next turn. The rest of
And
you
there
will
goes
take
my sight.
12. The rest of you will take 12 points of necrotic damage, but you are not blind. That will be the end of its turn.
Necrotic. Okay.
Is it necrotic damage?
Yes, necrotic damage, yes.
Okay, sweet. I
So
resist
yes,
that.
if you have resistances to necrotic, then you can apply them.
I just take 12. Yay.
All right. Then next up, it is your turn, Reagan. You are blinded at the moment.
Well, as an action, Reagan's gonna attempt to wipe this ash off of his face to restore visibility.
Uh,
Okay, do I have to roll anything to succeed, or does it just happen?
no, it's just wiping it off the face.
Okay.
It'll take your action to do so, but other than that, it's fine.
In doing so, can Reagan gain anything by looking at this phoenix? Does it seem to be showing emotion or targeting intent?
Just at a glance, you don't see any obvious displays of emotion. I would say it would take a proper insight check to see if you can glean anything more from it.
And you wouldn't allow that as a bonus action?
Unfortunately, no. Unless you have
That's
a
fair.
class feature that lets you do that. which I think
No, that's
some-
totally fair.
Some do.
Well, we bonus action, holding on to. Oh, did I not? Do I not have? I know I got booming blade. I'm not crazy. No, that's an action. I thought I had one of my smites. Oh well, I live. Never mind. That ends Reagan's turn.
I believe if Layla wishes to make their attack, their reaction, you can do that.
Yay!
Forgotten about that.
Crossbow. Hold on. 17.
A 17, it does hit. So roll the damage
Okay.
for me. And I believe you're using just a regular crossbow. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's just a regular crossbow. Would she get any sneak attack?
You weren't hidden.
Okay.
I
So-
will say that Aspen.
But
Aspen,
yeah,
walked
Aspen is
close
next.
enough.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, I went right up to him. Yeah.
I'll give you your sneak attack.
Yay! So that's 7 plus 4, 11.
And as you fire your crossbow, you notice that the bolt, it hits, but it seems to more pass through the dirt and the dust than it does seem to kind of hit anything solid.
Oh no.
All right.
So like
Dio, it's your
resistance
turn.
or immune?
We ain't got no magic weapon.
Nope, that's what half of this mission was for, to get her a magic crossbow.
Mhm.
All right, Dio, it's your turn.
she's gonna like turn around and be like, "Oh crap! All right, here we go one more time." And she's gonna hit him with slow.
Okay, slow. I believe slow is a dexterity saving throw.
Where does it say? Must succeed on a wisdom saving
Oh,
throw.
it's wisdom. Oh, it's about the same anyway. Oh, a natural
Yes.
one. So it does fail as you all watch as this phoenix begins to almost freeze in time as it is attempting to move and beat its wings, and everything slows down. Anything else?
Concentration. So I think that's all I can do at this moment. So she's just standing there concentrating on it, big eyes, holding it in one spot.
All right, with that, we're back up to the top. Aspen, your turn.
All right. So to clarify, is this creature fiendish by chance?
Looking at it, you don't think so. It doesn't look fiendish by, any like thought of what a fiend would be.
All right, just wanted to make sure because the breath does a different type of attack if the creature is fiendish. But if the creature is not fiendish, then what I will do is I will cast Hunter's Mark on it, and then I will cast oh no, Hunter's Mark is level 1 spell. So in that case, I'm going to attack with my double-sided lightsaber. Oh, yeah. Well, no point to do a grief blade because it's probably immune to fire. It's a phoenix, for Christ's sake. So or resistant. So, but the force damage. Yeah, so they'll just go ahead and attack twice. Actually, they'll attack with the grief blade. Just to be on the safe side. Just curious. So, whoop. All right. Will an 18 hit?
18 will hit.
Okay. I'll have my Drake use their reaction to give me an extra d6 of fire damage in case this creature is not immune to fire.
About to find out.
Yep, exactly.
I don't believe your weapon is magical. Is that correct?
The double-sided light scimitar? No, it's not.
All right.
Okay. Oh. Okay. So, the scimitar itself is 10 points of slashy damage. It's going to be 4 points of force damage and 6 points of fire damage. Oh, that's where the other d6 was coming in. That's from the Drake. I'm sorry.
Okay.
That'd be 6 points of fire damage, but we'll see what's immune or not.
Okay. As you attempt to slash into it, again, you feel that your sword doesn't quite cut into its form fully. But you do see the impact of both the force and the fire as it begins to burn and to kind of crush against this compacted ash.
Okay.
Seems to be working better than you expected.
Oh, they'll definitely note that for next time. That's it for their turn.
All right. Layla, your turn.
She just like looks confusedly at it because she doesn't know if the crossbow actually did anything. But she's gonna she's gonna do it again because she's like, yeah, why not? That's only a
All right, go
12.
for it. A 12 will miss. You try and aim this time closer to the head, and as you fire, it's almost as if the ash kind of separates and your bolt just flies through the center.
And now she's gonna just panic and hide.
Okay. Hiding is a good idea sometimes. All right, well, since currently Aspen is the closest target to it, it is going to attack Aspen. Well, actually, let me roll a d6 first. Let me do that first. All right. That is a 5 plus 8. Does 13 hit you?
No, it does not.
All right. One more time. Does a 15 hit you?
No, it does not.
All right, as it begins to rake its talons across directly toward you, you're able to avoid the first one, and then the second one impacts on the harder sections of your scale and armor before it kind of glances off. You all can hear the sound of scratching metal filling the cavern, but that'll be the end of its turn.
Woo-hoo.
Breaking time.
Reagan time.
Okay. We cast and bless at this. Well, it has to be at the first level, cause Layla ain't here right now. In Reagan's eyes, for she is hidden. So we'll keep it at bless at the first level.
She has vanished from existence.
I mean, her stealth is extraordinarily high.
Mhm.
Reagan don't see her, needs to see you to cast bless on you. So so that's Reagan himself, Aspen, and Dio get blessed. And he's going to use his movement to close the distance to get in front of baby Phoenix.
Okay. All right. I don't believe you have anything for your bonus action.
Nope.
All right. And can I have both Reagan and Aspen give me dexterity saves? As the wind is picking up and it is becoming harder to keep your footing on this stone pathway.
Finally.
Ooh,
19.
Sounds enough.
22.
All right. Both of you managed to keep your footing good and solid here. Dio, it is your turn. You are still keeping concentration on slow, I believe.
Yes. And if I'm holding concentration, that's pretty much all I can do, right?
You can still cast other spells, but you cannot cast another spell that has concentration, or you will drop concentration on this one.
Oh, okay. Then I will go ahead and cast a chromatic orb.
All right, I believe you rolled to hit on that, so
Add a
roll and
default
see what
to
you
it.
got.
Oh, wait.
You do have
Because it's slow, wouldn't the Phoenix only be able to attack once?
Oh, you are correct. It is only one attack.
Just
only one
curious.
melee attack him.
Gotcha.
All right, yes, it does. It did miss both of them, so it is fine. But yes, for the future, it can only attack one time, and its AC has been reduced. So, if some of you didn't hit before, you can try again because it might be easier.
26 to hit.
Nice.
Okay, that does hit. Roll damage.
Theo is a beast.
And I'm casting it at a level 3, which gives
I'm just
me
here to
one
buff
more
y'all.
HP.
Y'all can deal that damage. Shoot.
And the damage. All right, and you can choose the damage type.
The 16 in damage, and did when Aspen hit it with fire, right? We saw that it actually worked and did some damage.
Yes, it did seem to impact properly.
Then yeah, she'll choose fire as well.
All right. As Dio conjures this orb of initially kind of just free chaotic magic, it coalesces into a burning ball of flame before firing forward, and you see as it impacts, the ashes begin to burn before the wind puts them out. But you do believe it did all of the damage, which was 16, I believe. Or 18? 16. Okay. All right. And with that, we are back to Aspen.
All right. So Dio will look towards Dio and Reagan and just shout out, "Thank you." And they're going to take a few steps back because they shouldn't have any reactions due to being slow. So they're going to move back about 15 feet.
Fire breath.
Oh yes. So first thing they're going to do is they're going to go ahead and use 2 empower points to shift their breath weapon into a bonus action and add a few extra d6 to that damage. So you see, of course, this great fire generate from within their chest, and as they look forward, it's just say, "You should have talked." And they're going to unleash the dragon breath. They have to make a DC 15 saving throw.
It rolled a 6.
Ooh,
Perfect. Ooh, they about to get
spitting that mixtape. Have mercy.
About to look like a full blown 90s hip hop album in a second. So it's so yeah, that's oh my god. Okay. 6, 5, 8,
Oh my goodness.
18, 28, 30 points of damage from that flame breath.
Big dog, how do you sleep at night?
You can see now that more of this phoenix is being made up of burning ashes, but the form still seems to be holding together for the moment.
And with that, they bring back their bow because they moved to a bonus action. So now they're bringing back their bow and shooting them Lego style, hitting them twice. They get the D4 from
Add that
the
D4.
yeah.
All right.
And this is a magical weapon. All right. That is good. And the D4. 11 plus 9. Synthetic 20. Would that hit?
Does it?
All right. So 1d8. And then I'm going to have 1d8. And then I'll have my Drake give me the extra fire damage. All right. 12 plus 5, 17. 23 points of damage for that hit. And then for the last attack, add a d4. Okay, so that's 16 plus 9. 24, presuming that would hit.
A 24 does hit.
All right. D8 plus my d6.
To the fire, to the limit, to the wall.
Or you're not getting copy.
That would be 14 points of damage from that one.
Okay.
And that's it for me. To the fire.
Layla, it's your turn.
They can't stop them, can they, huh?
He is like, well, it doesn't look like anything's actually helping with my my crossbolt, so she's gonna cast Dissonant Whispers on it, and it needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Ooh wee.
Let me
birdie.
just double check. Wow. Yep, so 16.
Yeah, it passes, but it takes half damage. So 8 points of psychic
How?
damage.
How would you like to do this?
Yeah.
Nice.
I just feel like she pops up out of nowhere and just goes no, and smacks it.
Not the backhand.
As
You Kurt Williams
speak,
is Phoenix?
you see the what remains of this ash phoenix that is now more burning ash than fully formed creature begins to slowly dissipate into nothing. You can feel the wind in this cavern beginning to die down as the rest of the burning ash floats off, and you can see it kind of beginning to disappear further into this cavern before the last of the embers fades. And I think that is going to be where we're going to take a break for this evening.
Relax,
Woo!
dude. It was a heated metal joke. Yes.
If you are enjoying us, make sure to come back and join us in about 15 minutes. I'm going to see where this goes. All right. And all right. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. We are going to go ahead and see what exactly this band of adventurers have just gotten themselves into. So, to start us off, as you all are seeing the last of these burning ash and embers kind of disappearing on the wind, the chamber goes quiet once again. What do you all want to do?
Aspen looks up at the dust and says, someone made a fire would not have died by that. And they look towards the others and say, so clearly that was a phoenix. What was that supposed to represent?
Can I do a history or religion check to see if I know anything?
You could do a religion one, a religion check.
Religion has plus 8, 30, 20.
You are aware that phoenixes are generally celestial beings of rebirth. Sometimes they are used as kind of representatives or guardians of things. But you're also aware that whatever it is that was not a normal phoenix by any stretch. You've never heard of that before.
Is there another roll I can make, since Dio does that train of thought thing anyways, to see if it's not a normal phoenix, if there is thing that she can like put together, maybe that like gives her a hint of what kind of weird phoenix that was?
You can try an Arcana check at disadvantage.
Nope, she's no idea. Is a nat one.
Of course, a disadvantage.
But she will relay that information about it not being a normal one to the rest of the group and everything else that she...
Man, you still got inspiration?
Do I?
I know we all got it at some point. I know
we all got
yeah.
we all got the inspiration.
If Theo never used it, then they would still have it. Yeah.
Then I never have. What does that do? Does that give me a reroll?
If you want to use
You
it,
can roll again.
it's your
If
choice.
you choose to use it now, you could roll it again.
3 plus 8 oh, I'm so bad. That's 11.
It looked like it was made out of ashes. That's about it.
So a phoenix shouldn't really cause that energy that takes place. Whatever I was hit with, that reminded me of energy that we felt by the creatures in the Underdark, like more of a necrotic type nature. Why would a phoenix be based around that? That makes no sense.
Perhaps my rock filled its soul with such hatred that it had a drastic personality change.
Well, I was under the impression that phoenix were celestial beings.
I was too, friend, but look at what happened.
Yes. Does anyone believe that this may not be a phoenix of sorts, but something that looked like the phoenix? But if so, what else could it be?
Reagan don't know. Reagan just gonna try and wade through the ashes, and perform a really bad investigation to see if he finds something.
I mean, it looked like a phoenix. I don't know.
A phoenix wouldn't take fire like that. He looks towards you, Layla. Like, look how we handled that tar. Just enjoying the heat. This phoenix felt like it was made from the snow.
Maybe they can be. I mean, I don't know.
Hmm. Something's not right around here. And I wanted to start to look at the walls to see if they could start to pick up what this story is supposed to represent, and maybe see if that could provide some clues, perhaps, about this phoenix.
Okay, roll me a religion check. I
Layla is going
believe.
to investigate the podium.
Okay. And what were you doing, Reagan?
Making a really bad investigation amongst the ashes. See if he finds something.
Amongst the ashes, I mean, to you at this point, they just look like ashes. You just get your hands covered in soot and dirt. At this point, there isn't much more for you to learn from going through just the ashes.
Are there value in phoenix ashes?
You don't know for sure. Probably, you think. You can give me a Arcana check to see. Just off the top of your head, you know that
He
some
absolutely wouldn't know off the top
magical
of his head.
creature pieces are useful for alchemy. So you don't see why phoenix ashes wouldn't be useful for alchemy.
11.
I mean, it makes sense. Magical creature pieces get used for stuff. I don't see why this magical creature wouldn't.
Perhaps these ashes can be used as valuables. It could fetch a good price.
Not a bad idea. And Dio will go and scoop up a little bit herself, just because she's a caster, so she thinks it might be useful for that as well in the future. And she goes, I would say, since we can't really figure out what it is, remember that thing I said about like being a guardian? Maybe it's one of those. Maybe it's like some like weird, like magical undead guardian things of the whoever our friend out there's boss is.
I'll burn another divine sense.
Okay. You don't sense anything at the moment. No celestial, no fiendish, undead, nothing really.
And then I'm gonna go for the eyes for detect magic.
You do detect magic, but you aren't sure what school it is.
The ashes, the room, the podium,
there is the barest kind of hint of magic that's just kind of all around you, and then you can see this large mural seems to be suffused with some sort of magic.
Apparently this whole room is magical, friends.
So I use my inspiration because my first roll was a good old 8, and the second roll was a natural 20. So I will go ahead and like to see what this story is about.
Sure. So as you're kind of running your hands, which side of the room do you begin with?
Wherever the beginning of the story seems to look like it takes place.
Okay, as you begin to go over it, it's hard for you to fully understand it. And as you're looking at it, you can see that portions of it seems to be kind of written in celestial, but then other parts of it seem to be written in fiendish. And as you're attempting to go through it, it starts to look to you almost like some sort of wedding. And as you're going across it, you get to kind of the center, almost splitting the room in half. And there is a phrase that is written there, but the words seem to have been written kind of overlaid together in both fiendish and celestial. And I don't believe you speak both of those, do you?
I do.
You speak both.
Oh,
The words you see they look like they translate to forbidden child. And as you're looking at the image, you realize one of them looks kind of like Vija, the goddess of law. And the other one looks familiar to you, but you're having a hard time putting your finger on it. You see that the figure is this very beautiful woman that seems to be drawn almost half and half. Part of it looks to be like this very beautiful, angelic being. The other one seems to be this kind of equally beautiful but distorted, fiendish creature. And you see behind her in procession are 9 female angels.
So they look through this story, look at the podium. This is where the wedding took place.
What wedding, friend?
This place here is a place where the goddess of law and a individual I can't really pinpoint just yet collaborated together in marriage. More so, they had a child called, because it'll point towards the writing listed here. So this is with the combination of celestial and fiendish written together. It means forbidden child. So it looks like they had a kid. There's also 9 angels behind the goddess. So this place here is a place where these 2 individuals had their matrimony. This is my assumption would be a relatively sacred place.
And Reagan. Oh, go ahead.
Do you like to go over and take a look at that dagger that was in the pillar that got hit that summoned the phoenix?
Sure. Layla, did you give me an investigation check for when you were looking at the podium?
Oh, you may be muted.
14.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, with a 14, you pick up that kind of written into the stone of the actual podium is a phrase in both fiendish and celestial, kind of written one below the other. And it's hard for you to translate because it seems to be kind of in like an older tongue or an older dialect of fiendish. But as you look over it, it kind of translates to you to an agreement sealed and protected by the fang of a phoenix. But you aren't sure if the translation for fang is accurate. That one, it's written in a weird way.
So this has got like my translation's not the best because this is like super infernal, and I do not speak this version. Fang sealed with the fang of a phoenix. But phoenix don't have teeth, do they?
No, they do not. So the closest I can think of for a fang, either beak or talons, because a talon is similar to a tooth, the way it grabs onto something.
Sounds good to me, friend.
Does
Could
it
that be
seem-
what the dagger is? Oh, that's too smart for Reagan.
You just said it. I mean,
Oh well, I'll let it ride. Call it a
At
wisdom.
this point,
call it a wisdom.
you arrive and you see that the dagger is still inside of the stone, or it has been moved slightly, and you guess that is from when Reagan threw the stone at it earlier.
Can I see what it's made out of?
Just at a glance, you aren't sure. The handle seems to be made out of some sort of metal, but the blade you can tell is definitely not a metal. But it seems to be kind of thrumming with heat.
Can I like just try to wiggle it out a little more ever so slightly. Like I'm not going to pull it completely out, but I just want to see a little bit more of what the blade is made of.
Give me a Constitution save.
Mm.
17.
As you
Nice.
begin to kind of move the blade, it is hot to the touch. Almost enough that it begins to feel like it's going to burn you, but you are able to kind of pull out a bit more, and you can see that the blade, whatever it's made out of, is still very sharp. It definitely seems to have been imbued with some sort of magic, but it seems to be maybe some sort of bone, perhaps. And as you're kind of listening to Reagan and Aspen, it could be a talon.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say that a talon is probably correct. Also, this thing giving off a lot of heat. Very warm. Very, very, very.
Aspen goes by and say, let me take a look. They'll see if they're able to grab the blade and yank it out.
As you go to pull it out, it is very hot, even for you to pull. And as it gets further and further out of the stone, the heat begins to pick up. Can I have you give me a Constitution save?
Okay. Okay, I'll take that. Synthetic 20.
Okay, as you begin to pull it further and further, are you trying to pull it out of the stone entirely?
Yeah, I think because Dio was asking to take a closer look at it, so they're just going to pull it out.
Okay.
Reagan's glancing
And
at the sword with his detect magic eyes. I'm just saying.
As you pull it out, you definitely can see that it is thrumming with magic, Reagan. To you, you definitely sense evocation magic. And you can tell that this is a very powerful magical weapon. But as you pull it out, everything goes still for a moment. And then you can feel the room around you begin to shake. And the mural on the wall begins to glow as gold and red light spreads across both sides. But the light seems to be reversed in what you would expect. The infernal side glows with brilliant radiance, rather as the... Oh, did someone just fall out? No, all right. Well, we're going to take a quick break here. Technical difficulty. We'll be right back.
How unfortunate.
All right, everyone, we are back here. Due to all right, I think everything is all good now. So just to recap, as the blade, as this dagger is removed, the room begins to glow, and you can see that the light is the inverse of what you would expect. You see the side depicting the fiendish beings glows with this almost divine radiance, and the side depicting the angels and the celestial entities seems to glow with this kind of scarlet, fiendish energy. And as they meet in the center, the wall turns this deep, unimaginably dark black. And for a moment, nothing happens. And then you begin to see a figure stepping out of this darkness. And for a moment, it looks almost like the shadows begin to form a person. It almost looks like the shadows themselves grow solid. And as this figure emerges, you see a tall, dark skinned elf. Their eyes pitch black pools as they step forward. You see, it almost looks like there are tears streaming down their faces. Just shadow oozes down forward. And you see their body almost seems to fade in and out of view as the darkness is almost greeting them as they step into the room. The rest of you find that the light in the chamber almost begins to intensify as shadows begin to move away from everything else and to this person. And behind them, you see a child step forward with long golden hair. Their skin seems to be kind of this dark bronze color, and behind them are a set of wings. And as you look at them, you see both sets of both of these wings are inverses of one another. You see one is this beautiful white dovish color with long ornate feathers, and you see the other one is this blue scaled with this kind of almost looks like miniature stars in each one. And as you see her eyes, as she looks at all of you, each one is golden with this kind of red crimson irises that seems to almost see everything at all at once. And as they both look around, I need all of you to make wisdom saves.
Oh. Okay.
Come on, Reagan.
22.
22.
8. You know what? Inspiration dice. I got one. I'll burn it.
Go for it.
Rerolling.
Go for it.
Oh, roll 20?
I'll do it. 15. It's better. It's better. It's better.
All right. Did anyone roll beneath a 15?
Hold on, it's acting up for me. I'm telling you, I don't know what's going on with my computer, but I have a D20 here.
Yeah, the computer's telling
Yeah,
you to
yeah,
stop rolling.
I got a nat 1.
Oh no.
Oh no.
We're not using that dice again. It's going back in jail.
And Aston, what
Return
did
to
you
the
get?
void. A 22.
All right. And Dio, what did you get?
I also got a 22.
Ah, the half dragons. We just wreck each other.
Layla, as you stare at this child for just a moment, it feels like every sin, every darkness, every regret you've ever had is suddenly relieved. And you find a sense of serenity that you've never had before. And for the next minute, you're charmed by this person. You believe that whatever she is the closest thing to perfect balance that has ever existed. The man steps forward, speaks, and as you can see, based on his mannerisms, that he speaks softly, but you can feel every word kind of resonate with your body, and it hurts. For you, Reagan, you find yourself understanding what it is that he's saying, and his voice is calming to you. And as he looks at each of you and seeing that only Reagan seems to be able to understand him, he looks at you and speaks slower this time. Who are you?
Reagan Peril. And you are?
How have you found this place?
By accident. I'm waiting for proper introductions after all. These are my friends. He gestures to his party behind him. Or next to him.
They are unable to understand. Why do you understand me?
Well, we may be related in some aspects. Had to make some decisions in my life, you see.
I see. This is unfortunate.
Unfortunate. In what way, friend?
Who sent you here? I do not believe you would have found this place purely on happenstance.
If you are the master of the being we met earlier, there was someone waiting up ahead, if that's what you mean.
Did she tell you to come here?
She told us to venture forward, friend. And that we did.
See? And what of the gods? Are they here as well?
Reagan looks around. I don't see any, friend. There was this giant phoenix, though.
And your companions, are they dragons?
I like to think so, yes. They identify as such. But they're not the dragons I read about in my books.
Very well. And you see him very, almost imperceptibly wave his hand, and for a moment you see the lights in this room all begin to dim. And this time when he speaks in a voice that you all can understand, or kind of understand the meaning behind the words if you can't understand the actual words. And who are you all?
I am Aspen. Um, are you? It'll point towards the individual on the wall. The betrothed to the goddess of law.
No. It was my responsibility to ensure their pact was honored. What year is it?
Well, I don't know. We never got a year.
It's on our map.
Oh, our map. Okay.
Mhm.
Roll 20. It just says
It'd
Jackson
be
6 of.
current. Yes, the current year is 10,000.
Oh, 10,000. Okay. They'll say that 10,000.
Okay.
What year did this take place?
For you all, I suppose it would be the first year. Aldous was always sentimental.
You know Ados, friend.
I do.
I worship him all the time, you see. I am a paladin of the Church of Ados.
All of you paladins.
No.
Do you all follow the divine?
Say that one more time.
Do you follow the divine?
Well, I have a decent relationship with the god of dragons, all through my family lineage.
What of you, final-blooded? Do you follow the divine, or do you follow the others like yourself?
You know it. Uh, my cousins aren't very nice, but I'm not particularly religious either. Sorry, Regan.
No offense taken. We lead by deed, not by speech. You'll come to our side one day.
And I take it was you all who removed the dagger and defeated my phoenix. Is that correct?
Aspen will flip the dagger around their hands.
Were we not supposed to do that, friend?
There is no point in wondering what was supposed to happen. The pact that was agreed to has been fulfilled, for better or worse. And the child has been returned to this world.
What was this pact?
There was an agreement between the goddess of order and law and her beloved to ensure that Ardos never discovered their child.
Whom is this beloved of which you speak?
I do not know what her current state is. Find it strange she has not come here herself. Perhaps it was not meant to end that way after all. In your tongue, she would have been Poina, goddess of justice, I believe.
Okay, so you got the goddess of justice. And
Wait, to clarify, the child is a daughter, correct? There was a woman of both celestial and fiendish descent that was looking for their daughter. We came across her not too long ago, and she was searching for something that gave traces of the same combination. Would this woman perhaps be related to this child?
It would depend on who you're referring to.
And that they'll cast minor illusion to generate a image of the different representations that we saw her in. That she came across multiple different ways. And say she kept referring to me as young dragon and was specifically looking for something with all of her might.
No,
that's not her.
she is one of the muses. She is not Poina.
there's so much that we don't know, friend.
Would she be
As
searching
is
for
the
her?
fate. Most likely.
For positive or nefarious reasons?
I do not deal in good or evil. There's only the only truth is in balance.
There's a genuine smile on that face from that comment.
Wrong day.
I can respect that. In that case, will it be a boon to her if she is found by this woman? Or would it be something of a calamity?
A calamity may befall regardless. Coming here has set things in motion that I am unable to reveal.
We've been getting that a lot, friend.
Indeed, I imagine so. There are few times in which mortals have the opportunity to involve themselves in the affairs of people more powerful than they are.
I have a bit of a personal question.
You may ask.
Do you have the ability to discern one's lineage upon sight?
I can.
Do you know who my mother is?
I have an idea of who they are, yes.
Would you mind telling me, friend? You can see Reagan's like starting to crack just a little bit. Y'all knowing Reagan, you can see like he's trying to maintain his composure, but this is something he really wants to know.
I don't believe you're ready to know the answer to that question.
Rolling for insight. Can Reagan roll for insight on that?
You can at disadvantage.
Absolutely. Take it. He's desperate. And that's probably gonna win that one. Oh, it's a 4. Okay.
You aren't sure. They seem utterly alien to you, and is very difficult to read.
See Reagan just run his hand over his face. He just goes, well, it was worth asking. Is there anything else you all wish to know, friends?
Quite a bit. What is going to happen to the child now that she is here?
I suppose that is up to you.
To us? Are we meant to watch over her?
You aren't meant to do anything. It is always your choice.
Do you wish for aid?
It is not I that needs aid. My agreement has been fulfilled. It is no longer my responsibility.
Well, I am duty bound to serve the gods, so seeing that you are, after all, have deity influence, I am duty bound.
And what will you do when the gods disagree?
Reagan notably scratches his head for it. You can tell he has never considered such a concept.
You stated Otto's was meant to not know about their connection. Is Otto's not in agreement of what took place here or of this child?
No.
Asper looks towards Reagan. You are a paladin of Otto's.
Yes, this never would this have come up in in Reagan's studies before I commit to saying the line.
You have no idea. You know, there is nothing in history that mentions any children or anything like that.
There was nothing about this in my religious text, friend. And Otto's arms are open to us all. I can't imagine Ados not wanting to welcome someone.
I only wish to not put you in opposition of someone you serve. If you take on this task, it seems as if you may be in direct contrast with the person you worship. Is that okay with you?
Well, at the church, we worship many, and Though I am pledged to Ottos, I may have violated his tenets once or twice. And he says that as he clears his throat. So depending on the transgression, if it's the right thing, I suppose I can manage.
Hmm. And what of you two? You have not had much to say. Are you in agreement with these two?
I do wish to make just a clarification, and they look towards the child and say, I know what it's like to have decisions made for you when you're younger. What do you want to do?
You see, she doesn't immediately answer as she kind of turns her gaze on you. And even you feel this sort of, not fear, but uncomfortableness. It's almost like staring into the eyes of someone that is more more than you understand. And that unknown, that confusion is enough to kind of make your skin crawl a bit. I don't want anything at the moment.
Well, he looks towards the others. It seems like we were placed in a predicament. I'll be honest. From what I've heard, us half dragons, when we perform deeds, we ascend. We can perform this task. He looks towards Dio. This seems like a one-way trip to reach where we need to go. What do you think?
That does check out, but that scans.
And they kind of just lean their back against the cave wall and say, well, I'm okay with this. Safe to say I have a way now to be able to reach my full lineage. And they kind of like pop their shoulders a bit.
All things have a price. And I suppose the die of fate has been cast. I wish you all luck. And as he says that, you see the shadows around him begin to almost turn viscous as his form melts away, and before long, he's gone.
Well, I'll be honest. I am the youngest of my lineage. I have no idea how to handle a child. Anyone knows how to do this?
Well,
We'll be learning together.
I had brothers. We can figure this out.
I don't have you know I'm not a child. I'm an arch goddess.
Forgive me, my lady. How shall we refer to you? We can't just refer to you as the forgotten child, as it was.
Pilla.
Like Pilla.
One L.
All right, well, let's get the bare necessities out of the way. Do you need to eat, drink, or sleep?
I don't know what those are.
There is a song back in my town, and we used to sing all about bare necessities. A druid would come by occasionally and transform into a bear and sing all about them.
Indeed. Well, we're going to head back to a city. This city has a looks toward ringing. There is a church of Ottos there.
Yes, there is, friend, but if we're trying to keep Lady Pilla here out of sight, it may not be the best place.
I have no problem not returning you back to that city. As you know, I prefer a different sort of landscape. But you all, some of you make your homes there, correct?
Well, I mean, my home's the tent, which I can, throw that up anywhere, like just outside of town. So if we need to be close to something for like supplies, we can just kind of like stay on the outskirts and maybe stay in the big tent and keep her hidden.
That's a good point.
I'm all for this.
Theo, you always are filled with surprises.
I try.
My vote is we do not return back to the city unless we have a way to have her retain or be at someplace safe. We also, I know you all were interested in joining that Adventures Guild in a day or two, which is knee deep within the city.
I have not forgotten, friend. You can always do tryouts and then come right back to the outskirts.
Yes, but if we all were to attend this tryout, when he looks towards Dio, how much time can you have that tent be open? Is it 24 hours or?
No, it does that weird thing where it like kicks you out into the mud after a certain amount of time. So outskirts are good for a short amount of time, and then we do kind of like have to find something to do with our days or somewhere to like hide her out. I don't know, maybe we build like a fort in the woods or something. That could be fun.
Friend Dio isn't registered for the competition, friend, so
That is correct. Well, I'll be honest, I am only there to assist you all. My interest is not really with this guild. I'm there to assist you all for your endeavors in this. He looks towards Dio and say, I think our interest lies elsewhere a bit. With that, I'm a bit more cave heavy. If he looks towards Child, if you're interested in staying in a cave, perhaps we can find some place safe or outside the city.
Fine.
can Reagan make a divine sense, and particularly related to his holy symbol?
What are you looking to find out?
If there is a stronger than usual sense of the presence of Ottos, as if the sigil is spying on the situation.
As you kind of tone your senses a bit more deeply than you would normally, you don't think so. You do not think your holy symbol is acting as a direct conduit to the god.
I guess those transgressions might have come in handy in this instance. I can say with certainty that Atos is not watching right now.
Yes, I would assume so. Otherwise, I'm not sure how much interest they would play, how much interest they would have. But I'm assuming if Ottos was to ever discover your antics, if you're given your power from your god, you only have a short amount of time to have connection with it.
Some of my powers, friend, but not all of them.
Mm-hmm. Well, in that case, he looks towards Layla. I know you've been a bit quiet, but you're also by far the most charismatic, along with Reagan, of sorts. How do you feel towards this?
I mean, it's all a bit above my head, to be honest. I'm just gonna go with what all you guys decide at this point. I'm not really good with kids.
You're not?
No.
You're literally one of the sweetest individuals I've met. How are you not good with kids?
It's a long story.
Well, that sounds interesting.
And like there's a child right there.
She does not wish to be considered a child, I'm presuming. I know that feeling. I was like that just a few years ago myself. So I understand that request.
I'll tell you at another time.
They not. So well, in that case, I guess we've reached the end of our mapping area. Is that correct? Or is there more to go?
Yes, do tell, Dio.
That seems to be everything.
No, I think we're pretty much done in here. I don't see any other pathways. And this was the only wing I had left, so
Well, I guess we say a job well done. I guess we can return back. We head back towards the location. Were you expecting to see the individual today? That's the deal.
when was Dio? When did she have to return that information?
You were just supposed to finish. You gather that they would find you.
It's one of those deals where like the "don't find us, we'll find you" kind of thing. So they'll show up when they show up.
I just want to make sure I'm around when that takes place because I would like to meet this individual. If this happens within the city, he looks towards Reagan and Layla, would you two be able to stay with her perhaps on the outskirts in case we need to enter to the city? Or
I'm not against roughing it, friend. This is about your kin, after all.
I can
Family
hide
takes
my
care of family.
parents, if that would be easier for you all.
But can you hide your aura, my lady? For
I
we
don't know.
would be entering a space where it is heavily populated with people like me with the ability to sense the divine.
Maybe.
Well, we could always use me for a test drive.
And you see for a moment her form seems to shimmer for a second. And once it's finished, you see a kind of tan-skinned elvish woman who looks to be maybe approaching her first century. Her golden hair has been replaced with kind of darker auburn colored hair. Her wings seem to have disappeared completely and turned, instead of the kind of dark scaled wings, it's almost a tunic and dress kind of together that begins to kind of descend on her body. I believe this is how mortals look.
Reagan's gonna divine sense it. See if we can pick up on her.
You don't sense anything.
I can't sense her, friends. Well, in the paladin way.
well, that's a nice trick.
How
Well,
long can you maintain this?
I don't know how time works for you all.
Ah, yes. I suppose I have so much to explain about our world, my lady. Shall we depart, friends?
I say we shall.
And yeah, as we walk, Reagan's gonna attempt to explain like the basic concepts of like how they tell time, the concept of time, years, months, days, like literally like giving a Reagan-esque gist of it, for he is not a scholar.
Roll an intelligence check, Reagan.
Exactly. He's gonna be like, it is day, friend, and then it is night.
And then it is night. That's just what happens.
Okay. 13. I ain't mad at it.
It takes a bit of time, but by the time you have arrived back where the rest of your party is waiting, but she seems to understand at least the general concept of the passage of time. And she's able to explain that she can do this for. She says 7 months, but you aren't sure if she means 7 months or 7 weeks. You seem to notice that there's like a confusion over like weeks versus months to her. Like there's a bit of like a little haziness on that, but you gather she can keep her form for quite a while.
Okay.
All
Isn't
right.
that good news, friends? So much less to worry about.
Indeed. At least for the time being. I do not assume we'll be staying in that city forever, but at least for now, that gives us the time. Well, I would say this was definitely an interesting experience. He kind of just like stretches his side out. He says, by the way, I'm going to have to find a place soon. I just realized I have not slept in a while.
Well, let's get out of this cave first, friend, for we still have dangers to avoid.
Oh, yes. I could go for a bit while longer. And they kind of just tap their double-sided lightsaber, double-sided scimitar.
I'm about to say.
Lightsaber.
Wait a minute. We were not bought by Disney Plus.
If Disney Plus would like to purchase this show, they are more than welcome to email me. If you would like,
hit me up with Gmail.
Oh boy!
What is everyone's passive perception?
Oh, 19.
11 for Reagan in the dark. I don't know. It's your call.
14 for Dio.
18.
Okay. All right. So Layla and Aspen, you notice this, but as you're moving, Pila seems to take a interest in the wyvern, and you notice that as you all are walking, there is a very brief flash of energy that for you, Layla, feels both normal and uncomfortable at the same time. And as this energy fades, you both realize that the injury that was bothering the wyvern is gone.
Oh.
Thank you, lady, for healing the wyvern. I'm assuming that's what Our Lady did, right? Right?
Yes. One was unable to heal.
Not to the degree that you do, my lady.
Yeah, that.
I'm sorry if I took your line, man. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're good.
Aspen will make their way over to the Drake and say, "You're free now." It's draconic.
Tell it to stay quiet, friend. That thing is still about.
We are still making our way out of this location. If you want, you can continue to follow us. We will make sure that it will attempt to harm you as we exit. Or if you want to travel your own direction, that's fine as well.
You are a draconic sorcerer, I think.
Yep.
So
Dragon everywhere.
So make either persuasion or animal handling check. Either one.
Okay, I'll do the persuasion because I get double my proficiency. With that one. Ooh, that's beautiful. That'd be a 9. 26.
You see the wyvern seems to acknowledge you for a moment, but it doesn't make a move to leave.
So it wishes to stay. He nods. He says, "Very well. Stay with us. We'll make sure you stay safe." And yeah, they continue their way through the path.
I have a question. Would you say that we have been now conversing with this child for at least an hour?
Yeah, I'll say we're getting to an hour.
Theo would like to use Glimpse of Fortune to take a glimpse at her future And if I spend 1 hour in conversation with the subject and consultation with your divination method, I don't know what that means. Could
I
I
mean,
do
you
that?
just pick a method for divining the future. It can be anything that's specific to your character.
It could even be your map or a collection of
Yeah, it
books
could
or something like that.
be
Perfect.
consulting the
Yeah,
bones, reading a crystal ball.
she will take her necklace off that she has and use it as a little pendulum. And it's at the end of this time, you can offer insight into the subject's possible future. These details are always vague, but the reading affords you the chance to gain insight into your subject and possibly enter their good graces after getting
Yo
the
was
reading.
so baller. Oh my gosh, I love it.
As you attempt to understand, to divine the future of Pila, you see something that is very hard to accept. You see glimpses of images, a war between heaven and the hells at once. You see things beginning to dissolve into chaos. And then you see at the very center of all of this destruction is Pila, who seems to be the only person not bound to anything else. You see the celestial entities seemingly required to act, almost as if a marionette is pulling at their strings. And you see the forms of the fiends and devils moving in accordance to some sort of play almost. And then as you see Pila observing everything, you see a bony hand almost beginning to engulf her. And then your vision ends.
That's a lot.
Huh. Huh. Mm. Ah. Okay. Um, she's gonna walk over to Aspen and kind of like pull Aspen down to her height, like very, very quickly and roughly, and be like, and kind of like just start word vomiting all of that into Aspen's ear, very quietly.
Aspen responds in Draconic, saying, "That makes sense. She, based on the secrecy associated with this, can clearly start a war if discovered."
Ooh, we gotta do a lot to protect this one, and also bony hand thing. Who's that?
Someone who's not associated with either. Perhaps they'll look towards the area where they were coming from, where they met the individual, the eyes. Perhaps associated with the void. Because the void is neither. They're not heaven nor hell. They're in between.
Agent of the void.
Mm-hmm. That's my guess.
That's interesting. All right, okay. Let me process this.
he gently pats your back and say, "Don't worry. I have an entire family of adventurers who's been around the ages, all trying to do what we're essentially in to do. For us, this is Tuesday." He smirks again. And
I
keeps
just got a
walking.
flashback of a certain warrior from a certain campaign.
Yeah. Street Fighter, thank you so much for that line. I will forever be indebted. And they start walking.
Okay.
Oh,
Are there
we don't
any
hear
other
you if you're talking.
conversations that you wish to have?
Reagan will still be trying to like explain to Pila in the best way possible, like basic concepts of life as he knows it, like the essentials. Like this is day, this is night, this is what we call a home. Homes vary. Houses don't. You can stay in chapels though. We can. It is not recommended. Like that's pretty much the gist of how he's relaying it. But
Okay.
he's doing it in hushed tones because he's still thinking about the threats lying around.
All right. Do you all wish to continue walking until you exit this cave system, or do you wish to stop to take a rest?
Dio will suggest throwing up the tent towards the beginning of the cave. So like not deep enough into it where anything in the cave can get them, but they're still like kind of inside of it to protect them from anything outside. And see how everyone feels about that idea.
I'm in.
I can work with that. Are you saying we're taking a long time to sleep, or is this meant to be just a short time to rest up?
That's your call, dog. You need it.
I am. He smirks as he thinks back to one of his kin, referencing how he's always trying to push himself to extreme levels. And as he remembers her advice, like there's literally like a gentle smile on his face, which is really odd, not really common for his demeanor. And he says, I'm good for a long time to sleep, long time rest.
Ah, yes. Aspen finally sleeps, friends.
And Dio set up the tent.
All right.
So
So as
kind.
you all are traveling back towards the entrance, first, I need for you to give me stealth checks.
Oh,
Here we go. We don't have Pass Without Trace available to us this time. Okay.
Wait, I should be able to take that as a ranger. I'd look at
16.
it. Look into that. Ooh, I pretty much vanished to
Oh,
non-existence.
19 for Dio.
18 for Reagan. Oh, the
All
stealth
right,
check that
I
finally
pretty
went right.
sure.
28.
Mhm.
Like I said,
All right.
I pretty much did a vax and just.
As you all are making your way through, Pila is not quite as quiet as the rest of you, but together you are able to kind of help her along. You gather she is not needed to hide like this before. And there are a few times where you see kind of traces in an offshoot tunnel of that misty fog symbolizing the Kirikari. But you all are able to make it. Aspen, give me one more Constitution save.
Oh, okay.
The difficulty is 11. Their DC is 11.
11. Okay, well, there was 14 on the die, so.
You inhaled too much tar. No, I'm gonna stop.
Hey, the tar actually helped my constitution.
You are feeling a bit more tired, but you managed to make it. I will say you all are about another 45 feet away from the entrance to the cave if you wish to set up your sleeping arrangements here.
All right. Aspen
Dio
will
look
sit.
into it.
You need a friend's help to set up the tent. Like
Oh,
Reagan's asking Dio.
Anybody have like any extra line or rope or something just to tie this up real quick?
Reagan will pull out some rope from his adventurer's bag. Hold it out to Dio.
And she will take it and finish tying up the little bits of that stick to the actual tarp, and she will touch it and it will do the thing, and she will gesture to everyone.
Aspen will head towards Layla and say, so I had an epitome. Epitome. Was that the word? Epitome? Yeah.
Epitome.
Epitome.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Mhm.
Epiphany.
Epiphany, yes.
We're going.
I know if you give
Epiphanies and epitomes are out here in these
yes,
streets.
what are these words? Which doesn't happen often.
Okay, that's an epiphany then.
Mhm.
If it's an idea. Okay.
So I recall someone who was close to me giving me some advice. So the behavior that I seem to perform,
Hmm.
and that advice was sound. It highlighted a weakness that I had that I need to work on. And so that reminded me of your statement earlier in the cave. And so I think, even though you had a rough time dealing with children, perhaps this is a way for you to be able to strengthen that weakness as well.
Oh no, children just don't like me.
Mhm.
It's
This may be the first.
I don't really think she's a normal child.
Oh, she's not.
Normal children don't like me. So I don't know. Um
It's like a muscle. You just need to exercise it. It'll come in time.
Okay.
He was out here fighting kids in the beginning.
Straight up getting snowballed at the beginning. Aspen doesn't know that, but
Look, Layla's gonna find that child and it'll catch these hands.
in the words of an immortal poet, F these kids. So Aspen will look towards her and say, "We all can make progress in different ways. I feel like perhaps this may be a way to be able to develop, because otherwise, what I've seen, your personality is perfect. So if I have a weakness like that, might as well iron that out."
I will try, but look, the last child I came across threw a snowball at me, and I'm still mad about it.
You carry grudges?
On occasion, I don't like snow. It's cold, it's wet.
I'm learning a bit more about you. Interesting. Okay. Well, the kid, perhaps. I don't know. Mortals are weird. So it's funny they keep referring to us as mortals, but technically, and he looks towards Dio, if we do this right, we won't be mortals for long either. But nevertheless, if we this may be an opportunity for you to be able to develop that skill, and then when you meet this kid, you could change them. If you could change and point towards the individual that they're helping, her, you just imagine how easy the kids in Alexandria will be. Sink or swim.
I will give it a go.
Just some advice. I'm kind of glad my sister told me about the advice she gave me, because otherwise I'd be a detriment to y'all if I did not listen.
I mean, sometimes advice is good, if it comes from family members. Although my mom is not good for advice.
I guess it could depend.
Yeah. Well, let's go lay down. You need a nap. I need a nap.
He smirks. And you could definitely tell, as much as he's trying to provide a calm, cool, collective, exterior, Aspen is sleeping. Aspen is ready to crash. But yeah, he'll go inside and tend and say, "Thanks again, Dio. I appreciate this."
Oh yeah, no problem. Just come on in. And she's already kind of like making snacks and stuff inside there.
I'll keep watch, friends.
I think Aspen, the second that he finds a pillow, that's it. less than 4 seconds, which is odd for them. They might start like to work on their sword or something like that. Nope, not this time. Somebody to press the power button on this dude.
That cuddle's worth sleep, boy.
Yep, 200%. 200%.
Reagan's gonna shout into the tent, "Dio, please tell me you have grits in there, friend."
Oh, yeah, probably. There's and she like kind of like holds up a couple little like snack packs of like different like little grains and stuff that she's got. She's like, is this polenta? It's close.
I'll take it. It's just not the same, you see, but we're roughing it, I suppose.
Yeah, that.
And Reagan begins to explain to, to Philip the concept of sleep as well as the glory of grits.
The glory of
What you gonna do, Reed? What you gonna do about
it? He's hearing the glory of grits.
a natural one? You ain't slick, Reed.
Doesn't seem to need to sleep. She doesn't seem to be particularly interested in it either way.
The sleep and the grits. That's hurtful. Well, Reagan will do his best to stay awake so he can keep guard. How's Wyvern friend doing?
He seems to be doing much better than before.
Is it asleep? Is it awake? Is it?
It is not sleeping at the moment. No, it seems to just be kind of laying on the ground outside of the tent.
It's chilling too. Okay.
Hmm.
Well, yeah. Would this be considered a short rest for Reagan?
You could take a short rest for the first hour. I would say you would roll a perception check to spot danger at disadvantage. But you could do it.
Nah, not with roll 20. I'll sit it out. I'll tough it out. Nah.
Up to you.
Not with roll 20.
Not with roll 20.
And
the fam is learning. The fam is learning. What?
Is everyone else sleeping? All right. And as you all fall asleep, and as you all take an opportunity to reflect on a busy day, as you all have stumbled into something that could be changing the life of everyone in this world for the better or for the worse, that is where we are going to end our adventure this evening. But thank you to all of you for joining me in telling this wonderful story, and I hope that everyone who is still watching it is enjoying themselves. Please check back next week to see exactly what these people get up to and how this story continues to unfold. We are going to go back around in reverse order to have everybody introduce themselves, so we're going to start with May.
Hey there, I'm Melee Damage. You can find me on all the socials at whatever they are, /Melee Damage. And follow me there to check out everything I'm up to, because it changes. My schedule is random. I do music and film and streaming, and my schedule is all over the place. But you can catch me on a bunch of streams with most of the people here all the time in different places. So follow me on social to find out when and where, and stay updated.
Right, next up is Ari.
Hi, I'm Mari. Of course, I play Layla here, but you can follow me at Small Shadow Snack for basically all my other projects. I am occasionally busy, but and possum memes, because I am big on possums.
That's number one possum mama right there.
Who's your favorite possum?
Favorite doofus.
All of them. There is no favorite.
I'm with you here, boy.
And next up is Ursula.
Oh, snap. We done made it through the cave. What's up, y'all? I'm Ursringer. Y'all can find me on Twitch, acting up, YouTube, where I'm going to do something eventually, and SoundCloud, which I hope I can do something if the hostile takeover doesn't destroy us all in the SoundCloud realm. But of course, you can find me here. You can find me on the Cookout TTRPG's YouTube channel, where I am part of 2 campaigns there. And currently one that is going that I am hype about. We in space, y'all. But and then you will probably see me Monday if you stick around for a little campaign. That is going to be quite chaotic. Next call.
And last but certainly not least, Kira.
Sorry. Oh, really? I was just thinking of he would start doing the
Yeah.
dance, all this stuff. So I was just like, okay. I am Kira858. Of course, you can be able to find all of our content here at, not here, sorry. I'm supposed to say here, at, of course, the Cookout TTRPGs, as well as the Kira858 on Twitch. Many of our shows are going on a hiatus, but we're, of course, having a couple of new shows coming up in the near future. And so if you want to keep an eye out for all of our content, just make sure to follow us on Twitter at the Kira858, as well as the Cookout TTRPGs for all your TTRPG related goodness and Die Hard Dice giveaways and more. And that's me.
Well,
All
Kira,
right.
you gotta learn how to do the perfect cast.
The perfect cast.
And I believe now would be a greater time as any to remind everyone to check us out tomorrow night for our first episode of our V5 Chronicle, The Price of Power, where I will be guiding a number of wonderful vampires through chaotic unlife. And that will be tomorrow at 9 p.m. So please give us a watch, and hopefully you'll see something you enjoy.
Oh
but
snap,
with
we
that-
officially out there.
And with that,
Wait,
we will
PM
bid you
Eastern
all-
time or PST?
Eastern time, yes, is
Okay.
Eastern time.
Yeah, we
Okay.
ain't on the west side like y'all wonderful people out there.
And with that,
Yeah, you're
we
gonna have to deal with my
bid-
character coming through.
We will bid all of you a good night.
Take care, y'all. Y'all been wonderful out there.